Okay, let's just carry on the last part of the editing. So where we left off, we had a few errors on the file, mostly because I was too lazy to check the replace syntax. So using one of the best tools out there, the Vala documents, you can see I've just looked it up here, basically regex, and the screen's smaller so you can actually find it. There we go. So here we go, replace. So a nice little example in there. Regex replace, and just stick that in the comment there. So our regex is going to look like this. So it's going to say eval var, and I actually want to just check constructor compile options. Okay, so I'm just going through here. I've just gone through regex and just go. Okay, the compile options here is we can just stick in that. And we'll just stick this in for. And as I don't like to have too many types unless it's not really clear. Stick that in, so we've now got a nice regex expression. And well, actually this is a bit more complicated than that, isn't it? So I'm just looking through here again. What we actually want to do in this case is we probably want to be doing this, which wonderfully hasn't got a particularly good Vala thing, but we can probably guess from the documentation what we really want to do. So token prefix, let's copy that whole lot in. Regex eval. So string so we're going to go regex eval, and string we're going to replace as the token prefix. I presume that's string length. Start at the beginning, and regex flags. Let's just double check what we're. This could be very similar to the code. Well, we're just going to do it very simply. Just go back. And have a look at the original C1. I'm just going to put 0 in there, I think, for the flags. And then I'm actually assuming the right page. Yep, there's a delegate. So basically we can do the Vala version of function la la la. So match info and result. Kind of ignoring the fact that we've got a possible error condition, but extra. So this might prove to be a bit more difficult. Rather than this being called on every version, it looks like it's going to be I think I'm just going to guess how we're going to do this. Say while result wonderfully there isn't actually much exact documentation on this. What we might do is a bit of Google searching on GitHub. So it's there. Insert the code, and voila. There we go, some nice little examples of how it's done. So, well, this one's sort of indicating we might not need to so we're not actually going to be bothered about the return values, but we are quite interested in the match itself. So we'll probably want match info dot fetch 0. Going for the length, as we know that. So basically we're going to make the identifier. So we're saying that the identifier itself, this is interesting in terms of we need to probably change the API for identifier to say that it identifier is scope get identifier. I don't think that. I think we might be better actually returning a token. And making it possibly null. In which case we can change this. Null. Takes us all the way back up here. Identifier scope. So we're actually going to, I'm not sure which bit I'm looking at, so I'm going to say null. we're basically probably making identifier into a token. So if I pull up in one of my other windows here, and we're going to actually point that, and say it can be null. So now, scope, okay. Might have to change this later, but we'll see how we go. Question here. Okay, so we didn't actually declare identifiers earlier on. And yeah, we're going to have to sort out what we're doing with identifier. We haven't really got. So this is the code I was working on. It's now come out clean. More luck than anything else. And so we are going to go back down here. And again, it's pretty much the same code. So if we new regex. Even. And we copy that. And back down to where our errors are. So we're going to go length, put on naught, and again I'm going to use simple match. Regex again. That's simple. The other way around. I'm just going to yank that out of there. Actually, what I did the other day when I was doing this, I forgot about the case insensitive part. So if we're going to go match simple, we've got this. Let's pull up the again, we just copy the full there. And go match simple. And we know that, comma. Okay, so we're now replacing this in here. Well, this one actually, we probably don't actually need the caseless. I was all worried about it the other day, but since we're a bit specific, we could be quite generous, I guess. And then we can put token prefix. There's a string we're matching. Well, that's one less line with an error. So okay, we're in here, and we want to do this replacement again, and that's the same rules as before. And I'm going to say RA does match info fetch 0. Out there as well. Let's say not equals null. Okay, so down here, we need to put a type. So now we're beginning to get back to some more errors in the compiler. Actually down to one error. Let's see. Scope Parser. Telling me here. For each. Yep, definitely not there. And again, we can see our type on our arguments. Now probably I would guess this is the end of the class. So we've actually got a namespace, so namespace, and then we've got the class starting here. And we've not done the indent properly. There we go. So let's go all the way back. So suddenly we start off with scope. Well, actually we haven't got scope defined anywhere because we haven't ported that class. So I'm guessing that's the next class we probably need before we start getting this to work. So have a look at that. Well, okay, the type. I'll just fix that one before we go. And it's not Boolean, it's just Boolean Vala. And then we get some nice telling us what we need to do the scope class next. And we also probably need to sort out the identifier at some point. So that's it for this little next step on the